Hi guys, and today we are going to be reviewing or looking at this pretty old model that Hornby still make in 2021. This originally was a DAPOL locomotive, and it moved over to Hornby. I think it stems back from the 80s. This is just my look and review at this model. It does need a retool, but you do get quite a good model for the price. I think they're like £65, something like that. They haven't got as much detail as a W4 Peckett or something like that, but they are quite nice and they are quite cute, if I'm honest with you. So this is my take on the Lancashire and Yorkshire Class 21, or the Pug as it's known. So here goes. As we start off at the front of the locomotive, the coupling in it is a screw one. It screws in to the chassis, and it's medium. Along the buffer beam, we have these wood chucks. I believe the wood chucks that's correct for the model. We also have the number, which is 11250. We also have some moulded details and lots of rivets around there, including what looks like a foot hole there. We also have cement box dart and some mechanical stuff here, which is, like I said, moulded. Aside from repeating myself, we also have a hook here. It looks separately applied. Speaking of separately applied stuff, we have a handrail going round the whole of the locomotive up to the cab. And then we also have the separately applied chimney, which is correct for the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. As we move on to the side of the locomotive, from what I can see, both sides are exactly the same, so I'll just show one side. As you can see, this is in a black LMS livery with its number on the cab. You can also see a driver which is separately painted and added. The driver does come into a detail pack. Obviously I don't have one. Speaking of the locomotive, we have the mechanism down here with the shield, which I think is correct, but I'm unsure. Also above that we also have a builder's plate which is Aspinall. I think it says 119 and Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. Mine's a little worn. The LMS writing isn't too bad. I think it's tampo printed as well. You can also see some rivets all around the boiler. You've got some moulded mechanism under here, lubrication stuff, I think. We have some separately applied sandpipes too, from what I can see. And we have the small wheels, which are correct. We also have a steam dome and the water filler, which we'll get onto when we move on to the top. As we move on to the cab area, the cab is removable. I will do that in a minute. In there's just the motor and obviously the guy that was painted. Also a shield that can hide the mechanism. Hopefully I can get the cab off in one go. 3 little things like that. That's inside the cab. We do have a handbrake along the side there. We'll move on to the cab interior. As we move on to the cab, as you can see, it does have glazing all the way around, front and back as well. Sorry about my fingers. There's 3 little plugs where it goes in. 2 either side of the cab and the back of the cab, just squeeze and lift. As we look at the front, you can also see the whistles and safety valves that this has. As we move on to the back of the cab and the back of the locomotive, we do have, looks like 3 lamp irons, 3 along the bottom, 1 in the centre top bit. We have the glazing in the windows, which I've showed you in the cab. We also have the small hook again. We have some rivets. We have the wood chucks, I believe, as well. That's basically it. It's pretty plain. As we look down at the locomotive, you can see the rivet line on the top of the cab. Forgot to show that earlier. So I see the safety valves and whistles a bit better. We have the water cap and the steam dome and the chimney, which is blocked off, so you can't do a smoke generator in there. You also have more rivets, as well as a better look at the buffers on one side. And finally, we move on to the underneath of the locomotive. There's not much to look at. Like you see the screw-in medium couplings, I believe they are. We do see a big cog in the centre of the back driving wheels, which is plastic. That's to oil and the motor. It's quite a nice touch. Also, I believe we have pickups on all 4 wheels. Being so small, it would make sense. There's not really much to see. Like I said, you've got 4 screws. I think one is to take the plate off to get to the pickups, and the other one, I think, is to get to the chassis. So yeah guys, that's it on the tracks. It is pretty small, so it will do second radius. More worried about the points test because it's so small. But here goes, here's the points test anyway. Not bad, what's that, 30? It's not bad for DC. A little fast, but it is small, so managed that pretty well, if I'm honest with you. Next up is slow speed and a running session with the loco, see what it looks like with some stock. So here goes. Yeah, no, it was stalled. So yeah guys, that's the end of the running session review type thing. I thought I'd do something different with this. Hopefully it comes out okay. My opinion on this, yeah, I had a few issues over the points, but the tooling is what, 20, 30 years old? I don't know, something like that. So I expect it. I don't have services it. I can get the base plate off. I've oiled it. It runs okay, if I'm honest with you, once it's warm. I think I picked this up for £45 new. So yeah, and I've had it a few years. So it's worth the money. They do a BR1 as well. And I believe DAPOL did a Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway livery one, which I wish Hornby would do. I also wish Hornby would retool this a little bit, make the pickups a little better, like they have done with the W1, like I said before. The train it had in, just a mixture of freight, as you saw. Most of them were all under £10 bar that, which was I think £24. I really wanted it for my brewery collection. So most of these are under £10, so I just thought I'd run a cheapish train. Does look nice. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and might have gave you guys some ideas what to run. You could even make it into a national cold board livery, possibly. I don't know. Anyway, it's goodbye from that beauty, and it's goodbye from me.